Alright, today I'm going to show you how to make League of Legends in Arma Reforger. The first thing you're going to want to do is find the tools. If you already have them installed, validate them because something's probably missing. Once they're ready to launch, boot them up and create a new project and add any mods that you need. Once that boots up, the first thing you're going to want to do is click on Arma Reforger and go to Worlds. You're looking for Eden.ent. If you double click on that, it'll load up the world editor. Now, once the world editor has finished loading, you're going to want to click on File and New World. And then you're going to create a subscene of Eden. It's going to give you everything that Eden has, but in your own world. Don't worry about what that means. You'll figure it out later on your own. I'm not going to tell you. And then once that is done, you're going to want to save your world. But if you save your world in a read-only folder like Arma Reforger, your tools will crash. Okay? They're just going to crash. They're going to be obliterated. You're going to be doing things that just shouldn't have happened. You know, you shouldn't be doing that. So you're going to go back to the workbench and you're going to right click on your project folder and create a new folder. Okay, you can name it Worlds. You can name it other things, I think, but I wouldn't, just in case. And then you save your world as, name it whatever you want, doesn't matter, just make sure it's in your project folder. Once this is done, you're going to want to navigate yourself to a spot where you can build a mission or, you know, whatever. I'm going to go look for St. Philippe, and how you move around is you right click on the screen and you use WSAD to move around. If that doesn't work, click on the move button in the bottom right corner. Now, I like St. Philippe because it has these two roads that go down the center of town. They remind me of the lanes in League of Legends. Okay, and it has a dividing feature in the middle of the map. You know, it reminds me of the river in Summoner's Rift, you know? So I'm gonna go with St. Philippe. And then after that, you're gonna wanna start dropping down managers. You can definitely create your own layers for these, and I highly recommend you do that by right-clicking on your world. You can create layers for that world. You can also, if you right-click on the default layer for the Eden world, you can lock it so that you don't actually move things around. And I highly recommend you do that. Like, super highly recommend that you do that. Okay? And then after that, you're going to want to start dropping down managers. Make sure you double click on your manager layer if you've created one. But anyway, so we're going to start dropping stuff. We're going to drop our game mode, okay? We're going to drop our game mode. I went with the capture and hold game mode. You might want to go with the game mode from the default. You can usually find that if you click on Arma Reforger and go to prefabs and MP mode. You'll find some plain stuff. You also want the faction manager, the loadout manager. As you can see, I'm dropping these right now. There's a lot of managers in this, and I'm probably gonna forget them. The tag manager, I don't even know what that does, dude. I just put it down because someone said it in another video, which I might link in the description. I don't know, we'll see. Garbage manager, chat manager, you want that. Radio manager, you want that. You also want AI world. That's going to give your AI a brain, which you want them to have. It won't give them a fully formed brain. You're going to have to give them a hit registration manager and a perception manager as well. That will help their brains to become fully formed. After that, you're going to want to spawn things, okay? The first thing you're going to want to spawn is your players, or the AI, but we'll talk about that first. What I'm going to first put down is the player spawns, okay? We're going to put down a US spawn, so Americans, spawn, and then we're gonna put a USSR spawn, so the commies have some place to go before we murder them for being commies. Now, as far as the AI spawning, you're going to have to look at the official Arma Discord to figure that one out. It's a beautiful repository of knowledge. If you don't own Discord, download it to access this repository of knowledge. It is a wonderful place to go. You literally just click on the search, type in what you're looking for, and scroll through, and you'll probably find what you're looking for. You know, Armaholic is dead now, so you know, this is what we got. Okay, we got the official Arma Discord. I found the sample co-op mod. That's where I'm getting my AI spawning script. Also later, I did find a better one that I eventually used because I couldn't figure out how to add a component. So I basically went to asked a question on the Discord and then went to sleep. But basically, yeah, so boot this up, check it out, and see how it works. You know, we're just gonna see how it works first to see if we want it, you know what I mean? And you can see that it works. So I'm going to steal the script and import it into my project. I do this by finding the actual script file, copying the folder structure they have, because it doesn't matter. As long as it gets picked up, it's not going to be relevant, and dumping it directly into my folder exactly how they have it. With the folder structure, I didn't do that at first, and that was the problem, because the tools couldn't find the script because the folder structure wasn't correct. It wasn't in a layer of folders that made sense to the tools, so they couldn't find it. That's what I'm doing right now, trying to figure out why I couldn't find it. But that's what happened. And then later that day, I came back and I read some stuff and I was like, oh, okay, that's how I do it. So then, you know, I got it working. And that was really all that was holding me back. It's a very easy mod to make, this League of Legends copy. So to create new objects like this SCR base trigger that I have here, you see on the bottom left, there's a little create tab. You can click on that, and that is how you create basic objects that don't have anything, that don't have any components. You can add the components afterwards. After that, all that was left was to spawn my 2 waypoints. And I'm also going to add the area objectives for capture and hold, so that there is a, you know, an incentive to go to the spot as players as well as AI. Oh. And you can see there that I didn't spawn in. That's because I didn't add the right spawning components to my game mode. And the right spawning components are, you need a timer, otherwise you won't be able to spawn in for some reason unless you have an automatic spawn component. And you need a menu helper, I believe it's called. And that will give you the options for your loadout and factions at the beginning there, like that. And now you see that I'm looking for the timer because there we go. Beautiful, it's working. It's basically everything's good. I'm just double checking everything and we're good to go here. The AI are finally working. And there's something wrong with the commies here. They didn't spawn in, and that's because I forgot to use the trigger. So you'll see me go around and click use trigger for all of them. All right, now I'm just making sure that they respawn after they die. So I'm waiting for one of them to die. So I can see that they respond. Everything seems to be working. Perfection.
A champion has been slain.
And then here we go. After 2 days of work, it pays off. We go in. Now I can add many more things to this and make it more complicated, and I will do that absolutely behind the scenes if I think about uploading this, which I am thinking about doing that. I'm gonna make this a much more interesting game mode. But there you go, there's the basics of it, and I was basically ready to cry. It was very late at night. I'd been working on this all day and most of the day before, and I was very, very happy that it was worth